Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you right to what matters. Today, we're looking at something pretty significant happening soon, a nationwide day of protests. It's being called Good Trouble Lives On.
Yeah, and to get a handle on this, we're using excerpts from a Fast Company article. It just came out July 15th, 2025, and it lays out the plans for these demonstrations.
Right. And our mission today really is to quickly pull apart the key details for you. We want to get into the context, the motivations behind it all, and, the likely scale of these protests. The idea is you walk away knowing not just what's planned, but why it's actually a pretty big deal right now.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. What exactly is this Good Trouble Lives On protest set for July 17th?
Okay, so the article tells us it's basically a nationwide day of action. It's happening this Thursday, July 17th.
Thursday, right. And who's behind it?
Well, it's the organizers from some previous protests you might remember, No King's Day.
Yeah, that was often about challenging executive power, right? Exactly. And also the hands-off pro-democracy protests. Both were, focused on the current administration.
Got it. So what's the core focus this time?
This one is really zeroing in on promoting racial justice and voting rights. Those are the main themes.
Okay, racial justice and voting rights. Now, the date, July 17th, is there significance there?
Oh, absolutely. That's actually quite fascinating when you look at the bigger picture. The organizers specifically picked July 17th because it marks the 5-year anniversary of Congressman John Lewis passing away.
John Lewis. Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Lewis, of course, he was such a huge figure in civil rights.
Yeah.
He often talked about getting into good trouble.
That phrase, good trouble.
Exactly. His famous quote was, "Getting good trouble, necessary trouble, and help redeem the soul of America." Basically, protest injustice when you have to.
That's a powerful connection.
It really is. And it's clearly like a central inspiration for this whole event.
It makes you think about Lewis's legacy, doesn't it? I mean, he was so central to the civil rights movement.
Absolutely pivotal.
Involved in the first big sit-ins, the freedom rides.
Right there on the front lines.
And I remember his speech, too, at the March on Washington back in '63, standing right there with Martin Luther King Jr.
A truly historic moment.
Yeah, and the article mentions how the end of his speech that day really echoes what speakers are saying now. He said, "Wake up, America. Wake up, for we cannot stop and we will not and cannot be patient."
That urgency.
Exactly. It shows how his words still, spark action all these years later.
That historical link is really strong. But it does bring up a question, right? Beyond Lewis's inspiration, what are the current issues? What are the specific goals the organizers are talking about for this event today?
Right. What's the immediate trigger?
Well, the Fast Company article quotes Christine Wood and Allison Pulliam. They're co-directors of the Declaration for American Democracy Coalition, which is one of the main groups organizing this.
Okay, and what did they say?
They told the magazine the event is rooted in justice and peace. And they gave a clear reason for protesting now.
Which is?
They're quoted saying, "For the past 5 years, we have fought to protect our civil liberties that generations of marginalized Americans have worked tirelessly to secure."
Okay, so a defense of civil liberties secured over time.
Precisely. And then they made some specific claims about the current administration's actions, especially in its first few months. Again, this is according to the Fast Company report of what the organizers said. They claim that Trump, quote, "pulverized that progress, attacking our right to vote, cracking down on free speech, and our right to protest, deporting people without due process."
And due process there, meaning like the proper legal steps and fair hearings?
Exactly, the standard legal safeguards.
Yeah.
They also mentioned cutting crucial programs and DEI initiatives, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion, defunding life-saving research.
Those are definitely some very strong claims reported there from the organizers. It kind of raises a question about the article itself. Is Fast Company mostly just relaying what the organizers are saying, or does it dig into those claims with other viewpoints?
That's a good point. From what we're looking at here, the Fast Company piece seems primarily focused on reporting the why behind this specific protest day from the organizers' perspective.
So it's presenting their stated reasons.
Yeah, it's outlining their motivation for the Good Trouble Lives On event. Like the point about DEI programs being cut, the article is reporting that as one of the organizers' core grievances driving this protest.
Okay, that helps frame how we should understand the article's perspective here. It's focused on the protest's narrative.
Right.
So with those reasons laid out, who exactly is making this happen? Who are the key players behind this big day of action?
The article lists quite a few main organizing groups.
Okay.
Let's see, the Transformative Justice Coalition, Black Voters Matter,
Okay.
the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, the League of Women Voters.
Some very established names there.
Definitely. Also, the Declaration for American Democracy Coalition, the one we just mentioned, and Mi Familia en Acción. Plus, it says a coalition of other groups, too.
Wow, that's quite a lineup. It's not just one type of group, is it? It sounds like a mix of long-standing civil rights organizations and maybe newer, more activist ones.
Exactly. It suggests a pretty broad base of support, bringing different kinds of advocacy groups together for this, a real cross-section.
So with that kind of coalition involved, how big are they expecting this thing to be? What's the scale we're talking about?
Well, according to a spokesperson for the Good Trouble Lives On event who talked to Fast Company, they're expecting several 100,000 people will attend across the country.
Several 100,000, that's significant.
It is. And get this, as of last Wednesday, July 9th, so like a full week before the actual day, they already had some 1,200 events and rallies confirmed.
Wait, 1,200? Already confirmed a week out?
1,200, yeah. Confirmed events.
The logistics alone.
Wow. It's substantial. And the article puts this in a broader context, too. It notes that since the current administration took office back in January, millions of Americans have taken to the streets and organized rallies across the nation in record numbers.
Right. We have seen a lot of protests.
From big cities to rural towns in both blue and red states.
Mm-hmm.
So this event fits into that larger pattern of increased mobilization.
Okay, so potentially hundreds of thousands of people, 1,200 plus events already locked in. The next question for you, the listener, is probably where? Where is all this happening?
Right, the geography of it.
The Fast Company article confirms it's nationwide. Protests are planned in, quote, all 50 states.
All 50?
All 50. The flagship event is going to be in Chicago.
Okay, Chicago's the hub.
Seems like it. But they also list other key cities, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Annapolis in Maryland, St. Louis, and they mention San Francisco as tentative.
So major cities across different regions, plus the nationwide spread.
Exactly. It seems very widespread. So thinking about everything we've just unpacked here, what really stands out to you from this deep dive into these July 17th plans?
For me, it's maybe that combination, the way they're connecting that deep historical root, the whole John Lewis Good Trouble idea, with these very specific present-day grievances that they're voicing. It feels like a strategic blend of past inspiration and current anger or concern.
Yeah, I agree. So if we quickly recap the key things for everyone listening, there's that profound link to John Lewis and his legacy.
Definitely.
There are the specific goals the organizers have stated, focusing on civil liberties, voting rights, racial justice, and their claims against the administration's actions.
Right, as reported by Fast Company.
Then there's the sheer scale, hundreds of thousands expected, events in all 50 states, a really broad coalition involved.
It's ambitious.
It really is. It's not just a single-issue protest. It feels bigger.
And that leads to maybe a final thought, something to chew on. This deep dive really shows how figures like John Lewis and their calls to action, like Good Trouble, don't just fade away. They can still ignite and shape movements today, especially around these core issues of civil liberties and voting rights.
Still relevant.
Very much so. It makes you think, doesn't it, about how civic engagement and protest evolve, how that dynamic between sort of established power and people organizing collectively keeps playing out in new ways. It's a constant reminder of that tension, that ongoing process in society.
That's a great point, a constant dynamic. Hopefully this has given you a much clearer picture of what's being planned for July 17th and maybe some of the context behind it all. Definitely something to keep thinking about.